guys, this is MadD, and today I want to do a breakdown video of my new track called Would You. This is gonna be my first video, and sorry for my little English, I'm Italian, so yeah, let's jump right into it. Actually, when Christian, aka BVRGER with the V, came in the studio, he said this track was cool and, you know, let's try something over it. And yeah, the track was made pretty much in that day. If you can see like the track, it seems like there's a lot of channels actually. It might seem that they all playing together, but there's only one sound playing at the same time. So yeah, that's my first tip. You know, if you wanna have a really big and in-your-face sound, the best way to do that is just use one sound, one really big and dry sound, and slap it in your face. So that's gonna be pretty much it. I think there's a bit more science involved, but yeah, that's the basic rule. So let's jump into it. We can take a look at the drums, which basically are divided into two big chunks. So the verse and chorus section, and then there's the pre-chorus, which are basically different drums. So if we take a look at the first drum, this kick is like the P-kick, so it's the same kick you can find on the Before Popping song. It's been pretty much one of my go-to kick if I don't know what to use, and nothing else works. So yeah, that's a kick I designed myself. Hi-hat pack. So if you can see, it's not a groove per se. I just try to play my drum and then adjust them. I usually don't follow the grid if you want to do some rear and you know, human drums. So let's take a look at the pre-chorus drums. Those I think were basically loops that we've been stacking together. I think it's the same loop. So actually one of them sounds like this, and the other one is this. It's the same one, but pitch one semitone down. So yeah, both together sounds like this. I put some drum bass. And this drum bass is doing some transient shaping. There's another trick I used. It's pop filter per Q3. If there's something that's really high in volume and in a specific frequency, you can use a dynamic EQ. And if you see like the curve is not the usual one, because I needed to cut a pretty narrow piece of the drums. So especially in the hi-hat range, it was really harsh. So let's jump into the cool parts. For the intro, for example, as you can hear, there's my usual MadD sample that I use on every track. So basically what we used is the automation on the amount of the LFO that's controlling the filter. And then there's this, the main synth that I used, as made from the OPX Pro 2. As you can hear, there's a lot of automation. There's a reverb that's opening up at the end. The cutoff is opening. So another tip is don't only use your synth as a static sound. Just make them move, you know. A lot of people use effects and other sounds. I usually use automation, so I keep the same sound and modify it inside the synth. In Ableton you hit configure, and then you move any parameters that you want. For example, let's move resonance, and it's going right here, so you can actually use it. Yeah, it's pretty much the same synth all around, but in the chorus it opens up. on the pre-chorus, there's a bass that's you know, reinforcing the chords. And it's pretty much a simple bass, you know. It was a preset. I deleted some reverb and used a channel EQ to make it a bit more like a real bass, you know, so it doesn't have the sub frequencies. And that's like a simple outro, kind of sub. If you see that a sound is not fitting, don't try to equalize it too much, maybe change the sound. So in this case, you know, if I would put this bass, for example, like here, you can see there's not much space left, you know, because everything was taken by the keys, and there's a lead and there's a lot of reverb and drums. So in this case, I just used a sub frequency bass just to make it, you know, fat and help the chords to stick out. But it's not really the main focus, you know, on this part. The main focus is the lead. So yeah, let's get into the main bass, which is this one. And it was basically one simple saw that I shaped with some really simple plugins, as you can see. Another tip for you guys is don't use too many effects on your channels, because every effect that you put into a channel is making the sound worse. So if you can get to your desired sound in less effects, is the preferred way to do that. So let's take a look into the raw sound. So that was the main saw, and this is with the effects. So this is basically taking out the mid frequency and making this sound really hi-fi. So on this song, me and BVRGER, we basically decided to use the old SoundCloud sound, which is squash everything into the masters. In fact, like, this master is just basically a Pro L. And if you see on the chorus, for example, it's crashing the song. So you can even hear that the song is crushed like crazy on the master. But, you know, in this case, I liked it. And plus all the sounds were really bright. So you don't really hear the distortion that the limiter is doing. So it's a pleasant distortion, at least for me. So I'm gonna show you the raw lead and then the lead with the effects. So that's another really cool trick that I learned from EDM. Basically, if you put a reverb before a compressor, what it does, it's you know, compressing the signal, and when the signal finishes, the reverb rise up, making the reverb and the actual lead on the same level. Yeah, I think even this lead is a really simple saw, and that's all coming from my Bass Station 2, which is an amazing synth for the price, and I recommend that to everyone. So what else? Same lead. I replayed it with another sound from a Bass Station. That's another pretty cool thing that's not sticking up too much, but it was an homage to the 97B and the DFUNK era. This is like the usual kind of pluck that everybody uses in funk. Then there's some brass swells in the second verse. Pants cracking like the crouton, so now that the crew's gone. It's just to anticipate the one. I'm not gonna go in deep with the vocal, because yeah, maybe in a future tutorial BVRGER will show up and give you some tips. Yeah, I think the only thing that's really curious, it's what we did for the doubles on the first verse. So So in this part,
Yeah, now you feeling it. Oh girl, you be killing it.
we use the grain delay.
Feeling it. Feeling it. Feeling it. Feeling it.
Maybe I'll do a tutorial on the grain delay because I think it's one of the most underrated effects of Ableton. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like the breakdown. I try to capture it as simple as possible. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comments below, and please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'm not a YouTuber, but I'm trying. And I hope I can do more videos like these, or if you have any requests for future videos, just let me know. I'm just starting out. Thank you all for watching.
All I need to know is